What's going on, everyone? Talon here.
And Gringo. Yes, I still do exist. Just been busy.
All right, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be going over kind of our accounts to show you what we're working with and also to thank you guys for getting us to over 200 subscribers, which is awesome.
Yes, thank you very much. It's much appreciated.
So now we're just going to look at our team here real fast. As you can see, here's the tier 2s that I currently have leveled up. I have, I believe, 15 of them. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, no, 18, 19, 20. So I have 20 that are, 19 that are 6 stars, and then Odin that I'm still working on is my number 20. So I've got a little bit of variety going on here.
Yeah, I have, let's see, 27 myself, but most of my Black Order characters are just like kind of somewhere in the middle. I've got a couple like Corvus and Proxima that are at 5 stars, and they seem to do just fine for what I need with like the lower levels of Shadowland. I could just like solo a couple levels with each of them, so works for me.
Yeah, I've been a little stingier with my Black Order characters. I just work on them one at a time. I'm not usually getting them up to 4 stars just for co-op and stuff like that. I mean, they could be useful, of course, but I just try to get mine from 1 to 6 stars as fast as possible, and then I work on the next one.
Yeah, I'm more of a equal opportunity type person myself. Spread the love.
Yeah. All right. So now we're just gonna go ahead and look at my universal characters that I have going here. See how many of them I've actually gotten up to 6 stars. As you can see, pretty much all of them except for the bottom two, which are going to be Dormammu and the new Robbie Reyes. I have not worked on him yet, surprisingly. He is actually going to be the last of the three new characters I know that I level up to 6 stars, even though I believe he is the best of them.
Oh yeah, you are kind of a Hellcat fan.
Yeah,
Um,
Hellcat's always been one of my favorites, so I was really happy when I saw her added, so I wanted to work on her right away.
yeah, for my Universal characters, I have every single one of them at 6 stars except for the Black Order characters. And I have to say, like, my surprise pick for who I enjoy playing the most out of the Universal characters has to be Hellstrom. Like, I like his skills and just running around. Like, I do have his gear all maxed out and stuff, and I do have the extreme obelisk on him, and he does have the invincibility for 5 seconds, which helps. Immune to stun. I've got all of his skills maxed out, but I love his fifth skill: 5 seconds immunity to damage, and then you tag that in with the obelisk again. We're below 40% HP 5 seconds out of 10 seconds. So you just switch off and you just go to town on world bosses, Shadowland, anything.
Yeah, Hellstrom is a really nice character. I do enjoy playing him, but out of the Universals, probably my favorite character to play with just to use in general, not necessarily for utility, is actually going to be Singularity, especially since I just recently got her to tier 2. She is really beastly. That 40% guaranteed dodge, you can't knock that. That actually comes into play quite a bit. Um, World boss gameplay so much easier and very, very strong, especially with the damage boost. And as you can see, I've worked on her a little bit. She's got a Nord dodge, some crit rate, and then also an invincibility, which is also nice. So at tier 2, with that dodge, guaranteed dodge, and invincibility, she's actually quite beastly. And she just has really cool looking animations.
I have to give you credit for that one because I actually do not enjoy using Singularity at all. Like, I am awful with Singularity.
Well, I gotta say, I definitely enjoy playing her more that she's tier 2 now. At tier 1, she was more of a character that I liked the animations for, but she would take a lot of patience to be able to whittle down a world boss or a Shadowlands level. So
Uh,
definitely wasn't top priority at tier 1, but at tier 2, I think she's a force to be reckoned with.
I will have to check that one in the future.
Yep. Alright, so now let's switch over to our blast characters here. Alright, so if we're going through our blast character roster, or for mine, I have all of them unlocked, but I have three of them that are still needing a little bit of work. As you can see down there, we have the resident Big Head, Mr. Modoc, and then we have Red Skull and Rocket Raccoon. I have just never got around to working on them. Um, yeah, I mean they're okay characters, but they're not very viable characters right now in the game. So
What do you got
they're just
against
sitting there.
Modoc?
Hey, he's just a floating head
Modoc for president.
for president. Not my Modoc. Maybe your Modoc will do a little better at that job. And then four of my tier twos. Well, I should exclude Doctor Strange since he's kind of just a native tier two. But I have three tier twos in the category. Um, all of them I think are really strong actually because Enchantress, Sister Grimm, and Wasp. Wasp I got there for utility. Enchantress I got there just so I could wreck everything without even having to pay attention to the game. And Sister Grimm, I really liked Sister Grimm. Her skill animations, her uniform looks really nice, and she was just a character that I liked in general. But I was kind of disappointed when I found that her clones don't take aggro in Shadowlands. That was really disappointing. But I'm
Yeah,
still don't regret tier 2ing her.
yeah, I remember that one too. And I got Enchantress for the same reason you do. I like to sit there and be able to play the game with just one hand and not have to really focus on it.
Yep.
But my other tier two is with Lash and Songbird. Sorry, I forgot her name for a minute. Lash, I got there because I want him to be good. Like, I've
Yep.
tried so hard. Like, I want him to be good. And I like the tier two with the immune to damage with his
Yep.
disintegrate
Disintegrate.
skill.
Yes.
Dyslexic, sorry. I believe it is. And so I like using that. I'll use them around Shadow floor or Shadowland floor 10, probably around there.
Yeah,
And
just a nice
he
damage
does a pretty
boost.
good job. And then leadership skill with him too.
Yeah, energy attack is definitely a very nice leadership to have, especially 30%.
Yeah, and then Songbird I just got the tier two just because you were using her a while back, I remember, and you're like, oh yeah, she's really good, and I'm really good with her, and I just like freaking sucked with her.
Yeah,
So I was like, maybe if I tier two her, I'll be better with her, and not so much. I'm not terrible with her, but not
yeah,
terribly good with her. I just like her attack speed. Her attack speed is insane.
it definitely her. She's one of the very few characters with her standard regular melee attack is actually decent, really nice to use. And there definitely was a lot of hype around her when she first came out, and I really did enjoy playing her. She's still a really strong character, but now with all these other characters being added, she's a little lower down on the list now of Blast characters, but still definitely a very nice character.
Yeah, I have to say, if I had to choose a character out of Blast that I really like to use more than the others, uh, I'm kind of torn here. Because honestly, uh, I really like using like Yellow Jacket and Wiccan because they're
Mm-hmm.
actually both pretty fun to use. But just recently, I started using Baron Mordo,
Yeah.
and I actually like. I love his skill animation. I love his damage. He makes life easy, especially in Shadowland and
He is a
stuff.
really nice character. I do like his. He has really good skills. He has a stun. He's got some iframes, and he has a lot of movement. So he's definitely a very nice character. Let's see. Out of the blast characters, my favorite one to play as of right now is actually one of the newer characters. So probably a little surprising.
Infer? No.
No, actually, it's going to be Crystal.
Okay, so
I
that was a no on Inferno.
I really like using Crystal. Her skills are just really flashy. I just love the tornadoes and all the fire and water that's going on. They're just really cool looking. But before that, let's see who was my favorite character before that. Would actually probably be Wasp. I've always been pretty partial to Wasp. Even before I tier 2'd her, I'd use Wasp for my Shadowland clears, and I'd use her for my daily world boss clears as well. She used to be one of my characters that I'd always use, but now that we have Doctor Strange and like Thanos, or that I finally got Thanos up to 6 stars, she's kind of fallen
Remains
back a little
Wasp.
bit because I just go for those fast clears now.
All right, let's move on to combat because I want to skip speed
No,
just to
all
mess
right.
with you.
Well, I had already clicked on speed, so let me switch over.
All right, for combat characters, I actually only have three tier twos, but I enjoy using all of them with Carnage, Shang-Chi, and Moon Knight. But of course, my very first tier two in the game before I even unlocked any Black Orders was Moon Knight.
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
he is my favorite Marvel Universe character. The other one I like, of course, would be on the villain side, who they haven't added, and I am still waiting for in Mysterio.
Oh, yep.
But
I
I
wonder if
have
he
to
would make
say,
combat or not. I don't know. He'd probably
no,
be universal.
no, he might be
Blast
Blast.
or blast.
Yeah, it might be Blast, maybe even Speed. But
Yeah.
yeah, so if you couldn't tell out of my roster, I have a couple down there, of course, like the Warriors 3 and Ulik from the Thor update a little while back that I haven't really maxed out. So other than that, I've got all 6 stars. Some of the popular ones like Amadeus Cho with the costume, Red Hulk with the costume, a couple of good characters to use to solo Shadowland floors and stuff.
Yeah, they're very nice with the costumes, especially helps them to solo. Um, a lot of the floors of Shadowlands up to like around floor 15, they're even very useful. Mine's a little less developed, my combat roster. I only have two tier twos. Of course, I have Moon Knight as well. He's pretty much a staple. You need Moon Knight at tier two. If you don't have him, he's definitely a character that you should work on ASAP.
So Moon Knight for president.
Yes, I can get behind that. Moon Knight
Okay.
for president. And then next is somebody you're not going to want for president is going to be my Carnage, because there'd be a lot of yeah, that'd be pretty bad, I would think.
We
You have
might
like
get
his
superpowered
dictatorship.
suits.
Yeah, superpower suit. A parasite for all.
That
Or I
could
guess I
work.
should say symbiote, technically a parasite, but yes. And then at the bottom here, you can see I have quite a few that are not quite at 6 stars. What is that? We have 6 characters, not at 3 stars, not at 6 stars. Out of them, I'm currently working on Luke Cage. I'm actually getting him up to 6 stars, and I'm also working on Gorgon because I do want his leadership. So he's one that I've been working on as well. But besides that, Blade, Crossbones, Hogan, and Volstagg, I haven't really been working on too much. I am gonna get Volstagg up because he is one that I was interested in using, just because he has a reflect skill, a reflect damage skill, and a immune to damage skill, which could be fun to mess around with. And then I do have a few characters that are not fully mastered here, as you can see. When I get the Nord Stones, I will eventually master them. Maybe not Hulkling though; he might stay unmastered because he's not too useful right now. I just use him for a switch if I need it in Shadowlands.
If we're going over favorite characters, I think it's pretty obvious who my favorite combat character is. It's definitely going to be Moon Knight. Like, I love to use him. I like that he's actually a viable character in the game. Like, his heal skill, you don't even have to really pay attention to pretty much any game mode he's in. And
Yeah,
just like all around, I like his skill animations. I like that he like goes up in the air and the moon darts and everything. That's cool. I
yeah.
like his uniform. But if I gotta say, recently I've really liked using Amadeus Cho
Oh,
with the uniform.
yeah.
The damage he does is insane.
Yeah,
Like,
he's gotten a major boost with that uniform. He gets a lot of buffs, and he takes a lot less damage too with that reduction. So that's
that is
always
true.
really nice. Let's see. Out of the combats, my favorite character to play as of right now is actually going to be probably a surprise to a lot of people. It is going to be Sif. I really like playing with Sif right now with her
I
uniform.
was
I
gonna say
must add.
with the uniform.
Yes, yeah, it does the Sif with the uniform because the new skill animations that she has with the uniform, which is all of them, they have all changed, is really nice. I just like the way they animate, and I like the uniform itself. And since I use her every week for Shadowland Floor One, she's my clear for that one. I've just gotten used to using her, and she's really fun. But before that, a surprise probably to a lot of people would actually be Jessica Jones. I enjoy playing, even though I know she's pretty useless in the game right now because her damage is pretty low. She doesn't really have any iframes except for that jump that she does on her 6 star skill or the fifth skill.
At least it
But
looks cool.
but I like the way she looks in the game actually. Despite the character from the Netflix series, I did see a picture of her. I have not actually watched that, which may shock a lot of people too. But I didn't
The
really like her.
villain was really good,
Yeah.
but I honestly thought that the villain should have won in that. Like, I have to say the villain the Purple Man, best actor in the series.
Yep.
Like, had them all beat by miles.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll pick it up sometime, but for now, I'm gonna leave it at that. So now I guess we're gonna go back to speed.
Speed. Yep.
All right, so speed, I have a few more tier twos in speed than I did in combat, so I have four of them here for speed. Um, so for right now, my speed roster got Silk, Elsa, Ant-Man, and Gwenpool at tier two. And I must say, if you're going to get a tier two, especially if it's a speed character, Elsa is pretty badass at tier two. That immune to damage just makes her a beast, and she can clear pretty much anything that you need. So I'd definitely go with her as my favorite of the tier twos, at least.
For my tier twos, I actually have all the same tier two characters that you have, plus Spider Man, Black Cat, and Squirrel Girl.
I'm getting there.
And
My Squirrel Girl is ready to go. My Black Cat, not quite. She has two more gears left. And yeah.
I'd have to say though, out of
Actually, no, I have Spider Man ready to go too. He's at all 20s. So
I do like Spider Man.
I can tier 2 him whenever I feel like it.
I wish they'd give him like a little boost somewhere, since he's
Yeah.
one of like the main
Yeah,
heroes in
main
the
hero
series.
in
Yeah,
the Marvel universe.
but I have to say my favorite tier two character to use out of those is Gwenpool.
Gwenpool is fun.
Like her damage with the fifth skill is like really good, and then you just combo it with the fourth and third skills and
Mm-hmm.
just keep going back and forth. Oh, second skill, third skill down the wheel, second skill,
Yes.
middle skill.
They have to change the numbers on you. It can't just be like 1, 2, 3. No, no, it's got
Yeah,
to
you
be
can't be in order.
3, 1, 2.
Can't be in order. That's no
Yeah,
fun.
exactly. Oh, let's see. All right, so out of my roster for my speed characters, we have a few of them that aren't quite at 6 stars. We have four that aren't there. As you can see, we have Karnak, Hellcat, Fandel, and Daredevil. And my
Same here, except for Daredevil.
except for Daredevil. And actually, Daredevil is one I'm working on. As you can see, I only need 120 more bios, and he will be at 6 stars. So he's getting close. And my Hellcat here is also very close as well. As soon as I clear my next Shadowland levels, I'm going to be giving her the 90 pack of bios, and I will be getting her 6 stars right away. And actually, we'll be doing a video on that.
Yeah, nice.
So, oh, and I have a few that need mastery as well. You probably can see that my kid Kaiju still needs that one last mastery there for the 6 star. I've not gotten that since the video that I did on him, so he's still sitting there. I'm still pretty low on the speed Nordstone, so I have to build those back up. I should just dump some of my chaos tokens in.
Yeah, that's what I do on a daily basis now. Since I don't need any of the biometrics for any of the characters for chaos tokens, I just
Yep.
dump all of them into getting the speed Nornstones.
Yeah, I definitely run out of those really fast. Then Falcon and Hawkeye still need some mastery points. Hawkeye only needs one. Falcon I haven't worked that much at all. If I get Falcon's uniform, I might start actually using him a little more because he does have some pretty nice iframes. But besides that, I don't know how useful he is. So let's see.
Who's your favorite character to use? 'Cause it's gonna take me a minute. I don't know on this one.
Favorite characters to use? Okay, so definitely the character that I've been using for a while now that I really like as a speed character is going to be Silk. I do like the way she plays. I've always liked her animations. Even at tier 1, I would use her to clear a lot of game modes because she's just a really powerful character. So I've always had fun using Silk. And with the new uniform, I like the change to her fourth skill. It just adds some more flash, which she kind of needed. Before that, she had pretty cool skills, but they didn't really have much in the terms of the animations. So she was always one of my favorite characters to play as. But now I have to say that one of my favorite characters, surprisingly, just to play in general, because I like their skills, is actually Squirrel Girl. She has some pretty cool skills, and I like the summon is actually a really well animated squirrel. I mean, it's not like just like a stationary. Hey, it's not just like a stationary summon or something like that. I like that it moves around and attacks and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. And her squirrel, was it Squirrel Rush or whatever her fourth skill is really cool now as well with the uniform on because it just summons in that swarm of squirrels and they just destroy the enemy and stun them. So it's really nice.
Keep talking. I'm still deciding.
All right, then I guess this might be a good chance actually to talk about my dilemma for who I want to tier 2 next, actually, with my speed characters. Because I have a few options and I've been trying to decide who I want to tier 2. So maybe you guys can help me out with this actually down in the comments. So, in the comments, if you guys have stuck with us this far and want to give your input or suggestion, my choices are going to be Black Widow, Squirrel Girl, which I talked about liking to play with her, but I kind of want a character that's going to help me out with Shadowland and ABX. Squirrel Girl would actually be okay for Shadowland, not so much for ABX. But besides that, also Yondu, Kate, and Kamala Khan. I'm pretty on the fence about this because they're all really good.
What?
Oh, but Kamala
Kamala
Khan
Khan.
is technically a combat. But on this page here, since all of those are tier 2 options, and she's one I'm considering, I will add her to the list. But that is something I should note. Her uniform does change her typing. So originally she would be on the combat tab, but with the uniform, she is speed. So she does lose a little bit of attack and health with the switch to speed, but she gains a little bit of, what's she gain? Defense only, I guess, just defense. But the uniform is really nice for her because it gives her that HP boost, so it makes up for the drop in HP, and then the damage boost just from having uniform in general, that 10% also just makes up for the attack difference. So having the uniform turns out to be better for her overall, even though it does change her typing. And that can actually be a bonus because she is a pretty decent character because she has a few stuns and she has one iframe, so she can actually keep the enemies, I mean, stun locked the whole time in Shadowlands. So she is a very, very good character to use. But out of those ones, I am just on the fence on who to tier 2. I'm leaning kind of towards Kate maybe for ABX or Yondu for ABX. But then in terms of the characters that I personally want to tier 2 just because I like them more are going to be Kamala Khan, Squirrel Girl, or Black Widow.
I think I got it.
All right.
Well, I don't really have a favorite character to use in speeds, but I've gotten one that I'm using a lot more recently that I'd like to make better, and that would be Electra.
Oh,
I don't know why, but ever
yes.
since that update when they gave her the 6-star skill and stuff, like I like her skill animations. I like
Yeah.
that she moves around more. She's a little harder to hit and everything. I started actually using her in Shadowland, and she's a viable character.
And she has a few iframes now as well. So she's actually, that rework was really, really nice on Electra. I brought her from probably the worst or one of the worst characters up to, well, not top tier, I would say, but like A range. She's a really strong character right now.
Yeah, especially in the speeds that really needs stronger characters.
That is very true. That is something I didn't think about. I haven't been playing Electra as much as I would like to. Because her new rework is really nice. I've used her a few times in Shadowland. I really liked her, but I need to get on finishing up the character. I need to put a good obelisk on her, and I need to re-roll her isolate set, and then I'll probably start using her a little more.
Makes sense.
All right, so that looks like that's going to be a nice overview of all of our characters. So now maybe let's go ahead and show you what we're working with on our card side, so you can kind of see what kind of bonuses we're getting when you see these videos and you see how we're when we're clearing different stages or world bosses, see what kind of bonuses we're actually getting. So as you can see, probably the first thing that stands out with my cards in particular is I have a 4-star card there. That kind of sticks out like a sore thumb because all the others are mythic.
4-star card, noob.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. But I'll show you the reason why I decided to keep this particular card is just because of the stats that I rolled for it. So the two base stats, of course, aren't going to change, but then the two that I happened to roll were energy attack and skill cooldown, which they're two of the best in my opinion because you're going to prioritize any kind of attack based stat, so energy, physical, all attack, of course, the best of all three, but you want to get that on your cards because that's the main thing you're shooting for. And then skill cooldown, you want to get pretty much all your skill cooldown on your cards so that you can start focusing your gear onto defense penetration, which is going to be the best way to utilize your gear because you're going to get the most out of it and because you can't really get too much defense penetration from your cards. I mean, of course, you can roll for that and you can get lucky on that, but it's a little easier to get the skill cooldown.
Yeah, for my card effects, I actually haven't worked on my cards in a while now. So pretty much the ones I got are there's like a couple of the average ones you'll probably see, like Loki. Everybody's gonna have. If you don't have it,
That's
you should
the
probably
staple.
get it.
Oh yeah.
Marvel Zombies, you might see a lot. Maybe it's not as common these days as it used to be because it's not as obtainable, but you'll see them here and there. And the one I actually like to have is the Nebula one. Like I love the max HP, ignore defense on it, and I rolled good bonus stats with all attack, cooldown duration, and all defense.
Hmm.
So even though it's only 5 star, I still like it a lot more than some of my other ones. Say the Mythic one with the Civil War Captain America. Like I do get like a 9.5% skill cooldown and stuff like that, but the crowd control time and a couple of the other ones, all defense, I could probably do without. But I just don't have anything better than that right now because I haven't really worked on them.
Yeah, I actually have the Marvel Zombies card too equipped, so that is definitely one that you'll see more often. I'd say with players that have been playing the game for a longer period of time now. They that because that used to be one of the top cards, so that's why a lot of people used to have it. A lot of people have switched it out now, especially with the Korean cards. But I don't really spend that much money on the game, so I'm not going to be shelling out about $70 for a Korean card. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, no thanks.
Um, so as you can see, the Marvel Zombies with the dodge and skill cooldown used to be a really strong staple just because skill cooldown was always prioritized really high. And in mine, I kind of just kept it here because I do have a physical attack on it as well, and I really like the dodge and recovery rate is good. But this is one of the ones that's on the chopping block for me to replace. I just need to get a card to replace it, which is proving to be a little more difficult than I thought. Besides that, I have the Loki card, of course, because that's a staple. And then I ended up throwing in this Thor card here, the Thor's Battle World with Groot on it, because of the energy attack as the first stat, and then because I happen to roll physical attack as one of the others. So I do have pretty much, you can consider that an all attack right there. And then we have some recovery rate, and then the big one is attack speed. Attack speed is really hard to get in anywhere else except for the cards, mainly because if you get it with your uniforms and your gear, it's going to be a set value. It's not going to be a percentage. And if you look at the numbers, it's actually a lot of you need a lot of points to get up 1% in attack speed compared to any other stat in the game. So you have to put a lot more points into attack speed from your gear than you would for anything else. So it's usually just a little easier to get the attack speed here on your cards. So that's also something you guys can aim for if you're deciding like, oh, I've got enough skill cooldown or I've got a damage roll on all of my cards, but should I, look for as another stat to prioritize? Attack speed and defense penetration would be the next two. And then I have the Black Widow card right here, which is another one of the old cards that people used to use because it was just an easily obtained one. And it was actually one of the very, very first cards that I ever equipped, too. So this is one of the first cards I had equipped. And the only reason that this card is still around is just because of the roll that I actually got on it. Because all defense and max HP is the two fixed stats, not very good. Definitely can easily beat that. But I have dodge, skill cooldown, ignore defense, and physical attack. So all four of those are things that you want. So I kind of just haven't found the need to replace it yet. And especially with my Marvel Zombie card being in the state it's in, that one's going to be first up to be replaced. Then is going to be actually the Drax card just because I want to get those percentages up a little more. Of course, I do like having all those. And then actually my Loki card needs to be re-rolled because I've been having horrible luck with my Loki card. This is what I ended up keeping for now just because I did get two decent stats on it, but I have the attack speed, like I said, to prioritize and ignore defense, but I really need another attack on there, an energy attack or a physical attack or something.
Yeah, for my Loki, I just have it at 5 stars now because for my bonus stats, max HP, attack speed, all defense, like it's nothing I really hate about those. Like the all defense could of course be better, but I just don't want to re-roll it and end up getting like cold resist, fire resist, and something else that's not going to help me at all. So what I'm
Yeah.
doing here is I'm actually keeping cards on the side that are 5 star, and I'm ranking those up first into 6 stars. So if I get all good skills on those, then I'll just re-equip over it. If not, then I'll just fuse whatever mythic card I get into one of the ones I got equipped that I don't really like the abilities on. Maybe Marvel Zombies because I have the fire resist and the cold resist on it for
Yeah.
the bonus stats, which could easily be better.
Yeah, I'm working on a few cards as well. The main card I'm working on right here is this Thor's Civil War. So the Civil War number 4, because it is another attack like the Loki card that has an all attack as the fixed stat. So that's definitely a good start, because that's the top stat that you want to prioritize as an attack. So having that as a fixed one is going to help you out. But as you can see with this particular card right now, with basically just resistances, lightning resist, cold resist, energy defense, movement speed, that is probably the worst roll you could get. So I've been having horrible luck with this card. And I've been rolling this card for a while now. I think I've put at least 10 or 12 other mythic cards into this one, and it's still not getting any better. Besides that, this new one that I found right here, this Secret Wars card, I was kind of surprised about. I hadn't really, I guess, seen this or noticed this before, but it has attack speed and ignore defense as the two fixed stats. So I'm actually considering re-rolling this or getting at least up to Mythic so that I can start seeing what other stats are gonna pop out on this card, and maybe it'd be a nice candidate for replacing Drax or my Marvel Zombies.
Anything else we want to do?
Maybe we could go over the uniforms a little bit.
Which ones?
Just which ones we think are must-haves, maybe,
All right.
or argue over our uniform list in general, so they can see pretty much all this stuff that we have on our account right now.
I can get behind that.
All right. So yeah, just to kind of show like the full account. So you've seen all the cards that we are, all the characters that we have at 6 star. Now you've seen our cards. Now you can see what we've actually, I wouldn't say really spent on the game, because I wouldn't say that I've spent a lot on this game, but I know I have spent some on the game. I mainly get those monthly Stark backing, Stark stashes. I get the Stark stashes so that you could get the 75 crystals daily,
Yeah,
which
which
adds up.
it's pretty reasonable. I mean, if you're on Android, $3.49, and if you're
Yeah,
on what Apple iPod, it's $3.99.
yeah, 3.99.
So it's not bad. I mean, you don't get everything right away, but if you like save them and build them up, I mean, like $4 a month isn't like
Yeah, exactly.
terrible.
So I mean, definitely if this is a game that you play every day, I mean, it helps you to get a uniform when the sales come around, or even two if you haven't bought anything in between. The crystals add up pretty fast.
Yeah, and I mean, it keeps the game running too.
That too. If no one's buying stuff, the game will shut down.
So let's say your top 3 costumes that you have.
Let's see, top three that I think are must-haves, or just top three that I like the changes that they gave to the character.
Okay, we'll do 3 must-haves real quick, and then top 3 that you like.
Okay. Our top three must-haves might mix. We might have some of the same must-haves. So out of the uniforms that I have, and I think I've probably bought the ones that I of course would suggest are must-haves, or else why would I suggest them if I didn't have them? Of course, the first off that everyone's gonna want as a must-have is because you need this to be able to do ABX. You need this to be able to clear everything faster. Is Doctor Strange's
Yeah,
uniform.
knew that was coming.
With his uniform, he gets the heal, and then of course you get all the reflect and yeah, reflect and heal is the main thing that you get with the uniform. So of course this is going to be a must-have, especially if you want to be competitive in alliance battle. Which I wouldn't say I'm competitive in it, because I just get what I need to get for the bonuses. I don't try over and over again to get a higher score. I just basically do my first run. If I get there, I take it. If something stupid happens, I may close out to try to get the full rewards. But that's, yeah, pretty much for Doctor Strange. And then besides that, another must-have, which may overlap for us as well, as you can see, is the only uniform on my list that is at heroic. It is going to be Elsa. So Elsa's new uniform, the Monsters Unleashed. This uniform is a beast. Her other uniform was used to be a must-have as well, just because of the change it did to her 6-star skill. But now with this one, the other changes that you get, and the change to the 6-star skill again, is quite amazing because she gets AoE damage now. So that's why she is now a very, very nice character for Extreme Alliance Battle. But I also just like the damage and the character, so I've been using her for other things. The world boss clears. She's super easy to clear any world boss. She can even clear Infinity Thanos, so she is definitely very nice, especially with the uniform. And then for number 3, let's see, I'm going to have to look at these one more time here, but my third pick would probably be...
Green Goblin.
No. Green Goblin is on my do not buy list. Or I do not recommend.
Oh, sad. I like you, Green Goblin. I got your back here.
All right. Well, I'm going to say is one that I know is going to overlap with us is going to be Amadeus Cho. Amadeus Cho's uniform is also, I would say, a must-have.
You got that one right. That was the one I was looking at the bottom of my list.
Oh, yeah, because this, it's mainly just because of the skill change. I mean, look at this right here. Gamma Explosion. Reduce damage 35%. That is massive. And then increase all attack by 40% and defense by 40%. That is crazy. And don't forget this all speed. All speed applies to both movement speed and attack speed. So that's pretty massive as well.
Plus the buffs for just the uniform itself, right?
Oh yeah, that 10% on top of it, really nice. Oh, they mean the actual uniform bonuses.
Yeah, the actual...
Yeah, the uniform bonus, you get super armor and all defense. And super armor is quite amazing because I do love super armor. It helps you to not get guard broken, which is the worst thing in this game. Having your skills interrupted, I hate that so much.
Yep.
All right, let's see. Do we have the same top 3, or what do you have?
We don't have the same top 3.
All right.
We do have 2 out of the 3 that are the same.
All right.
So, of course, we have Doctor Strange.
Yep.
That's just going to be with everybody.
A must-have.
Amadeus Cho was one I was hoping you weren't going to pick, so I could talk about it. But I'm going to change it up for the third one, and I am going to say Lady Loki.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Lady Loki, I like the adding the freeze effect to the skills. You get, of course, you get the bonus all attack and all defense for the costume and everything. And it just makes her more viable to me.
Yeah.
For stuff, especially with the freeze, because then it also puts the freeze on the scepter bolts for your clones.
It does. And I didn't actually think too much about Lady Loki because changing Loki to female is actually quite a big deal for your alliance battle.
Yep.
Because then you can cover a lot more days in alliance battle. So that is definitely also a uniform that's very highly recommended.
Yeah, that is true. What does it cover? Universal, female.
Yeah.
Mainly the no restrictions,
female, the no restriction, and then the super villain as well.
Yeah, so 4 days if you got that one uniform.
Yeah, so it's pretty nice.
All right, quick favorite top 3.
All right, so now my favorite uniforms, or uniforms at least that I think change the character enough that they become more fun to play, I guess I would say in my opinion, is number
Green
1.
Goblin.
No. Green Goblin's never going to make any of my lists unless it's a bottom list.
I'm just going to go on your phone one day and just buy it for you and just set it as your main character.
No. Let's please not do that.
And it's going to be when uniforms aren't on sale either.
Because the only good thing about having Green Goblin's uniform was I needed to upgrade, what was it, Doctor Strange, I think? No, actually, it was my Miss Marvel, I believe. Let me see. Uniform options. Yep, there he is. The Green Goblin uniform. Ultimate Green Goblin. Ultimate my ass. Alright. So as I was saying, one of my favorite uniforms for how it changed the character is going to be one of my characters that was my favorite combat. Is going to be Sif. That uniform just changes the character so much. It brings her from being just a very low tier character to a mid tier, almost upper mid tier character. This uniform is fantastic, And not to mention that when the uniform came out, just the skill change in general that she got to her third skill, that skill where she just basically crouches down, puts up the bubble, and prepares to attack, is actually an immune to damage now. Before it was not, so you would get, yeah, you'd pretty much die if you used that skill because you just get hammered. So now that is definitely one of my favorite uniforms. And let's see, other uniforms. This one doesn't really change the character too much, but I just, of course, like the uniform is going to be for Silk. That webbing uniform is pretty awesome, and I must say that the change to her fourth skill as well, like I had mentioned before, because she was also one of my favorite characters, is it just looks a lot flashier. The animation for the skill is really nice. And then let's see if for my third pick, um, this one's a little tougher, but I think I'm actually going to have to go with
Yellow Jacket.
no. I did not buy the yellow Power Ranger. Okay. Um,
I gotta admit that is a pretty ugly looking costume, to be
yeah,
honest.
the costume is pretty ugly. It does give you pretty good boost in damage, and its one skill change gives him a lot of AOE. But I just don't like the look of it.
Yeah, I do have the costume. I'm just not a big fan either. It's just I don't know.
Okay.
He
And
has
then
wings and ears on his helmet and stuff.
yeah.
I don't know what's going on there.
And then my other favorite, or for the characters, is going to be actually the Red Hulk uniform. The Red Hulk, the Red Hulk uniform is, what can I say? It changes him around enough to make him very viable now in any game mode.
Yeah,
Because
from basically nothing.
yeah, that damage immunity, amazing, and just I don't know. I like the skills, the way they look with the guns.
Yeah,
It's pretty nice.
he gets a
But
heal in there too, right?
the heal, yeah, from the uniform bonus as well.
Yeah.
When you're below half health, you get 15% HP recovery, which is massive, especially as a uniform bonus. Because if you put it in perspective, Moon Knight is a 30%, so you're basically getting half of Moon Knight's heal.
Yeah, and as a
Um,
Hulk character, they generally have more health.
yeah, so that's definitely another one, just in terms of how much it changed the character, is extremely nice.
All right, let's see. Well, for my top three, of course, first one we're gonna go with is, of course, Moon Knight. Like, I
Hmm.
love the fact that it changed it to all white, and I like the armored look. Like, I don't hate the first uniform. I just like the way it looks better with the all white and everything. I like that it upgrades those crescent darts to give them some more damage with them, and they split off into more.
That it gives him an iframe as well. That jump
Yes.
back, that's
Yep.
really nice.
Let's see. The second one, I'd have to say, I think I'm gonna go with the Ghost Rider from the Inhumans Attilan Rising.
Oh, that's actually a
I
pretty nice uniform.
I do like it. It changes up his skills a little bit. I like the getaway car. It gives you a little minimal iframe for a couple seconds, but you could start up the skill and move it into another skill without that skill finishing. And if
Hmm.
you get some good skill cooldown on it, then you can pretty much just repeatedly use it.
Yeah. Also, the best part, of course, about the getaway car is that it adds that immune to damage, which is pretty huge. That's a big difference at Shadowland, especially.
And for my last uniform that I have that I like, since I want to do something different, and since he took Silk and Red Hulk away from me,
Two very good uniforms.
you know what? I'm gonna go with Lash.
Hmm. Interesting
I
choice.
Yeah, I didn't really like the way Lash looked without his other uniform. Like he looked, I, I don't know, he looked like something you'd see in like a horror movie, basically. Like I don't know what's going on with his face and him like sitting there breathing and like opening his mouth, like all creepy, like he's talking
Yeah,
to
he's
you.
pretty
It's
creepy
kind of weird,
looking, isn't he?
but
Yeah.
with the uniform, that little stoic look, and he almost reminds me of like a character like you'd see on Street Fighter or something, or
He does. Kind of like Akuma a little bit.
no, Street Fighter wasn't the one I was thinking of. It was Tekken.
Oh,
Uh, what was his name? The
what either
Heihachi's dad or whatever.
his
The
dad.
really big guy or something.
You mean Hayachi was the father, wasn't it? Then Jin was the son.
Yeah, but I thought there was no. It was Heihachi and then Kazuma and then Jin.
Oh, Jin's the third on the line.
Yeah, I thought there was somebody before Heihachi. Maybe I'm
Oh,
wrong. If I'm wrong, then tell me.
I
If
think
you
I
know
think
the
you're
name
right.
of this character that I am thinking of, I think was Heihachi's father in the Tekken series, please post it. If it was Street Fighter, let me know. But
I think you might be right because I kind of remember Tekken Tag Team. I kind of remember Hayachi's father or someone I thought was his father. Another old guy that kind of looks similar to all of them. Let's just put it that way.
yeah.
Was a playable character. But yeah, I don't remember for sure.
And okay, we'll just go name off three just real quick. No reasons why of costumes that you hate, and you can't pick Green Goblin or Yellow Jacket.
So basically, uniforms that I would never buy.
No, just uniforms you hate.
Just uniforms I hate. Okay, let's see.
Ones you just don't like the look of. Like, absolutely just not pleasing.
Okay, if we're gonna go that route, then I would definitely choose. You took away, of course, two of the picks that I would have done. Of course.
What can I say? Equal opportunity again.
Let's see. I got to do a quick look through these just because I had forgotten a lot of the uniforms. Okay, so definitely one that I don't like the look of, which I don't know if people agree or disagree with me, is going to be Baron Mordo's uniform. I mean, he does look
Oh,
like
God, yeah.
he does look like, I mean, he looks like the guy from the movie, but I don't like the uniform. It doesn't look good, and not to mention that changes him in a
It
bad
makes
way.
him worse. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's the one costume in the game that actually makes the character worse than he was
yeah.
originally.
I mean, I don't understand why they did that. Look, all these skill changes make him into a basically a standard speed character. It does all of the generic skills that a
It
speed
changes
character
him
would
from
have.
blast to speed, too.
Yeah, and it changes them
Which is
to the
another thing we
worst
don't know.
class.
Maybe that's why, since he went to a speed character, you can't have him outclassing all the other speed characters.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's a reason. Let's see. Besides that, another uniform that I don't really like the look of is going to be this Iron Man uniform here, the Secret Wars 2099. I mean, what the heck is this thing? It looks like one of those little Transformer toys I had as a kid. It's like
You don't like Cyclops Iron Man?
not really. He's all look at it, he's all blocky and I don't know. This just doesn't look very good. This uniform. It's
Next, you're gonna be saying you don't like the Green Goblin uniform.
I think I may have already mentioned that, but that's I guess not on this list. Let's see. And the next uniform that I don't like is going to be, or I don't like the look of. Let me just make sure before picking this uniform that there wasn't another one. Um,
There's a lot of hate to go around in some of these uniforms.
yeah, I think just off the looks, it might have to be this Ghost Rider uniform, the '70s classic one. It does not look good. It almost looks pixelated too. Like it doesn't even look like it's fully done. And I mean, come on, his base uniform or his no uniform looks better than that. It changes him to like a jump tracksuit type thing. I don't know. I just don't like it. It's like it looks like it should be a leather vest, but there's no buttons in the front. It's just what's going on there? I just don't like this uniform the way it looks. And since we have a better, more cool looking uniform right here with the Attilian Rising, I mean, yeah. So that's probably going to be my three. Not going to buy uniforms that I don't like.
Let's see. Well, for my three, I honestly have to go with the Baron Mordo one too. Even though I didn't
Yeah.
want to rename him, I'm sorry that Baron Mordo is pretty bad as just a uniform all around. I like the original look of Baron Mordo from like the comics and stuff too, so that was just another turn off for me.
Yeah.
Another one that I think looks kind of awful is one of the uniforms where somebody has a Captain America uniform on. I bet you can't
Uh,
guess which one it is because there's like seven of them, but
yeah.
it's gonna
There's
be
quite a
the
few, but
Winter Soldier one. I'm
oh,
sorry, just like not a fan. Like I don't like where the uniform goes like black and stuff. It looks kind of cheesy. In his little like picture that he's got down there, it's just like it just looks like a shiny blob on his face, and it's just not aesthetically pleasing at all.
It's kind of funny because I actually have that uniform.
All right.
But it does do some good changes to his skills. That's mainly the reason why I have it. It gives him that immunity that you can skill cancel, so you can make him immune pretty much the whole fight. But you have to actually be pretty good or skillful, I guess I will say, at doing this skill canceling because it's not as easy as Agent 13's.
And yeah, I'll agree with that. And the last one, you'll probably agree with me. I don't know why you didn't name this one yourself since you hate this character so much, and I can see you're thinking. Look through him for a second and see what you think. But it's going to be another one of the Captain America ones, the MODOK one.
Oh, the Modoc.
What the hell is that?
The Cap Doc. Cap Doc.
Look at him.
It's probably because
Come on.
It's probably because I think this one is more funny, I guess, than bad. I kind of just laugh at it when I see it, but yes, it is pretty horrible.
It is pretty amusing when you just like look at his face. But what the hell? I mean, at least if you go to the Spydock one, you can't see his face.
Oh,
If you
that's
go
very true.
if you go back to the original MODOK, I mean, you can still see his whole face, but for some reason, and it looks like he's going from like the American Dad, where you'll see Roger going like right here. I'll look and go, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
he just goes back. But it still does not look as bad as the Captain America one. I don't know why. I mean, if you like compare their faces side by side, it's just with a mask on, he looks worse than without a mask, and there's not a lot of characters you can say that about. But that's definitely on my list.
Our resident big head is, yeah, he's pretty hideous right there.
And yeah, that's my top 3 that I am not too happy with.
All right. Well, that was actually pretty fun going over the funniest or worst 3 uniforms. I never really thought about them too much. I just decided I didn't like the uniform, and that was where it's at.
Yep.
So, all right. So that was going to be a quick look at our accounts. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I mean, just
It did take a while, but
yeah,
it was fun to go through.
yeah. Well, we went through quite a bit of stuff actually, and also, like I said, thank you for getting us over 200 subscribers. That is mainly what prompted us in thinking about doing a video like this, where we can just kind of show off our account, talk with you guys a little bit about what we're doing with our characters and how our roster and uniform and card base is looking, so that you can have a better idea of what we're using when we're doing like our world boss videos or Shadowland videos and stuff like that, and thought it would just be a fun thing to do.
Yeah, and also if you guys got like top 3 lists of characters you like or uniforms you hate, then feel free to post them down in the comments and compare and stuff. It's always more than welcome to hear from you guys. And we always do appreciate the comments. We appreciate the subscribes and the likes and everything more than you know. And that's like we make these videos for fun and stuff, and just to know that they're appreciated is just like really big. Like it's like a confidence boost and makes us want to do more videos and think of like more stuff that we can bring you. So thank you for everything.
Yeah, thank you for all the support. Definitely, like Gringo was saying, we do these videos just for fun, and we're just kind of posting them as like a little side, I guess, hobby or just something to do when we're bored, or just because we play the game so dang much. Why not record it? Yeah. I mean, that's kind of where it went, and then we started doing videos, and I'm actually really happy with how it turned out because I didn't really expect to get many subscribers. I thought my videos just be sitting there, and then
Yep.
I got a few people, and then I started getting comments, and it was really nice. I was kind of surprised because I was actually half expecting to get a lot of, I don't know, I guess nasty or troll comments or something like that. I didn't really expect to see what I've been seeing, which is all nice comments about the videos and just questions that are
Yeah.
actually legitimate questions, not just like weird, stupid questions to try to I don't know, make me mad or something like that, or be
Yeah.
like, what is this person thinking? Why are they asking this question? So thank you guys for all of that. Thank you for the support, and I hope you continue to watch our videos and continue to look out for updates. And also, if you guys like kind of like not really this style of video, but like almost like a podcast type thing where we just talk about certain maybe certain characters or certain parts of the game, kind of like we did right now, except more in depth and more focused on maybe a certain character or class of characters. Let us know. Maybe we do something like that in the future.
Yeah, we're open to pretty much any ideas. We're willing to try anything out for new videos. So if you guys want to see something, I noticed we did get some comments a few days ago. Some people did want to see a. Let me scroll through these here. Superior Spider Man,
Yep.
which I am going to work on him this week while I have a few days off. And once I use him a little, I will get back to you on the review for him. And since Talon was not building him, and I was working towards him more than Talon, I noticed somebody wanted a review for Robbie Reyes.
Yes. Robbie
So once I get
Reyes.
him to level 60, get his gear up a little, and check him out a little bit, use him in a couple of game modes, I'll get back to you on that review too, and we'll see how it goes.
All right. Yeah. So, like we were saying, thanks for all the support, guys, and we'll hope to keep hearing from you, reading the comments. We do read all the comments, reply to all of them as well. So, just keep being awesome, and we'll catch you in the next video.
See you later.